Hi everyone, my name is Eric and thanks for checking my review on the Eachine H8C. This is very similar to the H8, but the C is comes with a camera. If you guys do like this one, I included a link in the description below where you can pick one up. If you guys have any questions, please just leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to everyone. Okay, so first off, this one does not come with the SD card, but it does take a micro SD. I'm using a 16 gigabyte, which is plenty big. You really don't need that big of a card with this quadcopter because you know the video quality is not super high definition, but it just fits in right there. So when you first turn on your quadcopter, you want to make sure you have it on a flat level surface just so it initializes correctly. So you'll see them and it's already initialized. If it doesn't initialize, what you want to do is bring the controller all the way up and then all the way down. And as far as the controller goes, you have your flips. This thing will do flips pretty well. However, as the battery starts to wear down, it will lose altitude more and more. So if you are going to be doing flips, you want to do them within the first half of your battery or the first 3 minutes of flight. When you first start out, it's in your low speed, and then you press it again, you're going to be in medium speed. You'll hear 2 beeps. You press it again, you'll hear those 3 beeps, and now it's going to be in your fastest mode. It's really helpful when you're learning to fly a quadcopter just to have those different speeds available. Next, right here, you have your camera button. So you press 1, and that's going to snap a picture. You'll see it flash red real quick, and then to start recording, you're just going to hold this button down for a couple seconds, and now you see that red light flashing. That means it's now recording. So you can do this while it's flying. You can snap pictures, or you can start or stop the recording while in flight. So now it's green, and it just and then you have your normal trim. This is going to be your yaw trim, and then when you press down, this is going to activate your headless mode and return to home mode. So to activate headless, you just press down real quick, and now you see it blinking. It's in headless mode. To return home, you're going to hold down for a couple seconds, and now it'll return home. And then over here, you just have your standard trim, just like on any other controller. This one does come with a USB charger, and the charging port is right here, right next to the power button. You just plug it in there. And then, you know, you can plug this into your laptop, or what I like to do is I like to use like a wall USB charger. It tends to charge it a lot faster. And I'll include a link down below where you can find the charger that I recommend. It does come with 2 extra blades. And the blade guards on this thing are pretty nice. They're very sturdy. This quadcopter does fly really nice, and it is fast, but with these blade guards on it, it will slow it down. So once you're comfortable with the quadcopter, you might want to take these off. The kit does come with a screwdriver, so these just screw on with 1 screw, and you will get slightly better performance that way. Now, if the camera is not that big of a deal for you, I do recommend is just the H8 Mini. This one has no camera, and the good thing about it, which I like, is it does have a replaceable battery, so you can just pull that out right there. Flight times are going to be a little bit better. Your yaw rate is going to be insane on this one. So if you guys do want to check this review out, I included a link in the description down below where you can check out the H8 Mini. So the battery is in this little compartment here. It is a little 250 milliamp hour battery. Now, it's not meant to be replaced. It is stuck in there. I believe it's Velcroed in. Now, they do recommend that you unplug it if you're not going to be using it for a while. And the camera is something that I would expect from a small quadcopter like this in this price range. It's not great, but it does work. And it really only works in really bright situations. You're not going to see much if you try to film this at nighttime, or if you try to film it in a dimly lit room. So the camera is facing kind of down, maybe at about a 30-degree angle. So you are going to see a lot of ground. You will want to be up pretty high up in the sky to actually capture much on film. So my flight times with this quadcopter has been around 5 to 7 minutes, and that's depending if you're recording video and if you have the blade guards on or not. Now, overall, the flight performance is pretty good. The distance from the controller is decent. I'm getting around 30 meters with this thing. I've seen some other people who have said that they've been getting around 60 meters. So, I think it's really going to depend on what area you're flying it in, how much, radio signals are going on. But for me, pretty decent for this size and cost of a quadcopter. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys headless mode. Okay, so let's go ahead and activate our quad, bring it up and down. Okay, so right now red is forward, which is going to go away from us, and I'll show you guys that on the controller right now. Blue is back, red is forward. Okay, so now I'm going to activate headless mode. Just press down here on the controller. And you'll notice in headless mode when you see that one blink followed by 3 blinks. And you'll hear 2 chimes on the controller. So let's go ahead and same thing. We'll go forward and back. Controls are exactly like I just did, but now this is where headless mode changes. So I'm going to go ahead and go in, I'm going to flip the quad around. So now blue is facing away from us. I'm going to go forward and back. Go forward and back. So do you see that now it's going in reverse, but really in headless mode it's paying attention to your controller and not to the direction that the quadcopter's in. So let's go ahead, I'll show you another example to the side. So let's go ahead and take off, forward and reverse. So if you pay attention to the color of the quadcopter, that was actually flying sideways and back, but my control inputs was forward and reverse. So now you can see in headless mode why that's so important for when you lose orientation of your quadcopter. So if your quadcopter is far away, you're not really sure what direction it's pointing in, go ahead and toss it in headless mode and you can easily fly back by just pulling it back towards you. So let's say it's too far away, I'm going to pull it back and it's flying back towards me even though the quadcopter really isn't pointed towards me. And that's headless mode.